There was a time I believed the world was made of colour, that every stroke of my brush could pull something unseen into existence, that if I painted desperately enough, someone would feel what I felt. But tell me, have you ever screamed in colour only to be met with silence? I gave everything, every breath, every fragment of my fractured mind. I painted the wind, the sun, the longing in a face no one cared to remember. I painted fields golden, skies electric, nights alive with restless stars. And the world looked away. They said I saw too much, that my hands moved too fast, too wild, too desperate. They called me mad, and maybe I was. But madness is merely another word for vision, is it not? My brush knew what my heart refused to accept, that time is cruel, that beauty is fleeting, that the hands that shape the world are often left holding nothing. So I painted to keep them full. I painted when my hands trembled, when my mind unraveled, when loneliness pressed against my ribs like a cage. Did I know I would die in obscurity, that the world would only open its eyes the moment mine closed forever? Perhaps. But the stars do not weep for the sun when it sets. They simply shine in the dark, waiting to be seen. This is my story, not the one they tell in museums, the one that hurts. Before the paint, there was the word. I was born into a family of art dealers and ministers, respectable people with respectable plans. I tried to follow them. I worked at a gallery, dismissed. Trained as a teacher, dismissed. Studied to become a minister, dismissed. 4 failures before I turned 27. But it was in the coal mines of Belgium that I understood who I was. I went to preach to the miners, men who descended into the earth each morning and surfaced covered in black dust, coughing up pieces of their lungs. I looked at them and saw myself, forgotten, invisible, buried alive. So I gave them everything, my clothes, my food, my bed. I thought this was holiness. The church called it excessive. They stripped me of my position. Excessive, for loving too much. Is that not the cruelest accusation? To be told your sin is caring too deeply. But I learned something in those tunnels. Words fail. If you want to bring light into darkness, you must show it. So I picked up a brush. My first works were ugly, brown and grey and thick with grief. Peasants hunched over potatoes, hands gnarled by labour. The critics laughed. Too dark, too sad. But I was not painting for critics. I was painting for the invisible ones, the forgotten. I was painting for myself. My father called me a disgrace. My mother wept. The world had made its judgment. But there was Theo, my younger brother. He had everything I lacked: stability, success, a future. And yet every month an envelope arrived. Money I had not earned, faith I did not deserve. The world is not ready for you, he wrote, but I am. Keep painting. Do you know what it means to have one person? Just one. One voice in the silence that says, I see you. Theo was my one. I would not survive without him. Then came the sun. I was 34 when I fled to Arles. Paris had been suffocating, too many voices drowning out my own. Arles had light like nothing I had ever seen. Golden, fierce, it burned the grey right out of my blood. I rented a small house and painted it yellow, inside and out, the colour of hope. I painted like a man on fire. Sunflowers, 14 canvases in 1 week, not decorations, living things. Some blooming, some wilting, some already dying. The whole truth of existence in a vase of flowers. But I was lonely, desperately lonely. I am drowning here alone, I wrote to Theo. Send someone, anyone. He convinced Paul Gauguin to come. I prepared like a bride awaiting a groom, decorated the guest room with my finest sunflowers, imagined us building something together. For 9 weeks we painted side by side. For 9 weeks I thought I had found a friend. But we saw differently. I painted what was before me, raw, trembling with life. Paul painted from memory, from somewhere I could not reach. You paint like a child, he said one evening. No discipline. You paint like a corpse, I replied. No pulse. Then, one December night, it shattered. We were arguing. The tension had been building for weeks. He looked at me with something worse than anger. Pity. You are not a painter, Vincent. You are a madman who has learned to hold a brush. I do not remember what happened next. Not clearly. There was shouting. Then there was blood. My blood. The mind is a country with no maps. Sometimes you wander into regions so dark you cannot find your way back. Gauguin left the next morning. No farewell, just an empty room where my sunflowers still hung on the walls. And yellow never looked the same. They took me to an asylum. I went willingly. Something inside me was broken beyond repair. I had a small room with barred windows. Through the iron I could see olive trees, wheat fields, mountains. Some days the darkness swallowed me whole. Hours vanished, sometimes days. But even in the darkest room, I could see colour. They let me paint. It was the only rope I had left. I painted twisted olive trees, cypress flames reaching for something beyond this world. Other patients with trembling hands and vacant eyes. Men like me, lost, waiting. Theo wrote every week. He told me his wife Johanna was pregnant. They would name the child Vincent, after me. You must get well, he wrote. My son will need his uncle. I wept. Somewhere a child would carry my name. And one sleepless night, I painted the sky. 11 stars, a crescent moon, a sky churning like an ocean in storm, a village sleeping below, unaware of the chaos above. People ask what I was trying to say. I painted what I saw, that the universe is alive, that even darkness moves, that chaos and beauty are the same truth, seen from different distances. I created 150 paintings in that asylum. Critics call it my greatest period. I call it survival. I left believing I was healed. I was not. I painted 70 works in 70 days, churches, cottages, wheat fields under bruised skies. Then Theo's letters changed. His health was failing. The money was running out. I did the arithmetic one sleepless night. Thousands of francs spent on a brother who had sold one painting in a decade. One. I was a burden. I had always been a burden. On July 27th, 1890, I walked into a wheat field, the same golden wheat I had painted 100 times, and I made a choice I cannot undo. I did not die immediately. I walked back to the inn, climbed the stairs, lay down, and waited. Theo arrived the next morning. He fell to his knees beside me, and I saw it in his face. A man drowning on dry land. "Brother," he whispered. "Why?" I had no answer. He held my hand through that final night. He did not let go. "I want to go home," I murmured. His voice cracked. "You are home. You have always been home with me." I died the next morning, 37 years old, 2,000 works, one sold. Theo whispered I would be remembered. I did not believe him. 6 months later, Theo followed. Grief took him first. His body followed. He left behind Johanna and baby Vincent. She inherited everything. Hundreds of canvases no one wanted. 900 letters between two brothers who loved each other more than the world loved either of them. She could have erased me from history. Instead, she made me her life's work. Johanna taught herself art history, translated our letters, organized exhibitions, knocked on doors that refused to open, then knocked again. For 30 years, she fought for a man she never met. Because of her, Starry Night hangs where strangers weep before it. Because of her, sunflowers became a symbol of hope for millions who will never know her name. Because of her, you know mine. I never saw it, not one moment. I died believing I had wasted my life. I was wrong. And so this is what I leave you. You may never see the harvest. The seeds you plant in darkness may not break soil until your hands have turned to dust. The love you pour out may not return until there is no one left to receive it. This is the cruelty of creation. But it does not matter. Create anyway, love anyway, give the world your color even when it refuses to look. Legacy is not about being seen in your lifetime. It is leaving behind something that speaks when you no longer can. I did not paint for museums. I did not paint for millions. I painted for you, the one watching this now, the one who has ever felt invisible, excessive, too much of something the world did not want. I see you. And if my brushstrokes make you feel less alone, then my life was not wasted. And so my work remains, whispering in color, long after I'm gone.